What's up, YouTube? I'm gonna record this in front of my dash cam in front of the police department that arrested me, and this is basically an update on what has happened thus far since the initial arrest on September 11th, 2020. I got found not guilty, so let's just go with that. I had two trial dates. The first one was, when was the first one? 4/22, and the second one was 5/13. The state presented their case on 4/22. We presented our case on 5/13. The charge was disorderly conduct. Cops lie, record everything, and I was found not guilty. Bogota Police Department, false arrest. 20 months later, they tried to offer me all types of deals, up into including we will dismiss everything, you admit no wrong, we admit no wrong, but you have to drop all civil litigation. Obviously, the answer to that was a big fat hell no. We have 3 notice of claims in. One was for the initial kidnapping, false arrest, false imprisonment, everything else. The second one was for harassment, where Officer Duenas, a year later, or maybe 7 months later, threatened me about a parking spot that I was legally parked in. And the third one is for witness intimidation, where Officer Duenas foolishly, once he was served with the second notice of claim, towed a key witness's vehicle, claiming it was not registered. They later on admitted that they were wrong, that he put in the wrong number. Good luck explaining that. So not guilty, people. We waited 20 months, we fought. I'll tell you what, the system is designed to be the way that it is. See, I'm right here in front. We're gonna get rid of that Blue Lives Matter flag off of there too. But the system is designed the way it is for this reason. Had I not owned my own business, I probably wouldn't have been able to fight this, because I had to take off numerous days of work. And who can do that? My court date was probably canceled like 6 times. I had to take off all them days. Who can do that if you don't work for yourself? Like, how can you tell your employer, hey, I'm going to court again today, you know? So they did try offering me so many deals. I wasn't taking any deals because I knew I did nothing wrong. There was no way that I could explain to my son. They arrested me in front of my son. There's no way that I could explain to my son how I'm taking a deal, how they're doing me a favor when I know I did nothing wrong. What happened in trial was basically the judge, although I didn't like everything that he handled, I mean, yeah, he found me not guilty, but he still kind of tried to do his best as he could to cover their asses. He didn't rip the cop. The cop made up a whole new story. So in his report, and I'm gonna put out another story on the report. I'm gonna keep on updating on my page. But in his report, he basically wrote, I was out in the street, I was yelling, people were coming out of businesses and stores, windows, which would support disorderly conduct. However, none of that happened. So we got his video. Can't see any of that happen. So we were wondering, is he going to tell the story of the video? Is he going to tell the story of his report? Officer Lewis Duenas of the Bogota PD made up a whole entirely different story. He said I was throwing weights, I was doing this, I was doing that. I was throwing everything, basically. So he cuffed me for his safety and the safety of everyone around us. Now, complete lie, because you don't see it in the video. Judge should have ripped him for that. Judge should have ripped him for that. Judge didn't rip him for that. Judge also made a statement to where, had the cops arrested me, he said this wasn't a disorderly conduct. He broke down every, paragraph of disorderly conduct, and he was like, yeah, no, doesn't fall into this, doesn't fall into that, doesn't fall into this. He said, had this been a hindering or a obstruction, then this would be a whole different case, which is bullshit too. First of all, you do not need to ID in New Jersey. So actually, I almost wish that they would have charged me with hindering or obstruction. On top of that, they could have charged me with all of that, and I promise you that I would have been found not guilty on that. So yeah, after, like I said, like 7 deals, 8 canceled court dates, we were found not guilty. Because if you do not commit a crime in New Jersey, you cannot fucking be arrested. Bottom line, point blank, period. Officer Lewis Duenas, we are now moving on to the civil litigation aspect of it. So he moved from plaintiff to defendant. I moved from defendant to plaintiff. It feels amazing. He's gonna have a lot of explaining to do. I will definitely post his deposition, because we are going to rip him. Sergeant Cole, I mean, he stuck to the truth as much as he could without throwing his officer under the bus. Still not okay with him because he could have stopped the arrest. He could have avoided all this, knowing that I've been in that community, in that business for 13 years, and he's been here for just as long as I have, longer. So he's known me not to be any trouble. He should know when you can and can't arrest people. But his testimony was the truth. So, you know, he didn't say he felt threatened. He said the only thing I threatened him with was civil litigation, which I did. You know, I got to watch my back because these people, they probably still try to do some stupid shit. That's how ignorant of the law these officers are. Yeah, so Cole stuck to the truth as much as he could without throwing his officer under the bus. But still, he could have stopped everything. So he's also a defendant in this case. And yeah, we're looking to right a wrong. I mean, this has to stop. You know, cops have to understand that they can't just do what they want. I'm not a First Amendment auditor. I wasn't trying to, you know, get them to do something that they shouldn't have. I actually gave up my name and ID just because I wanted them to go, because I was conducting business and I had my son there. And I didn't want to get arrested. Once I realized I was going to get arrested, I even gave him the town that I lived in. But because I asked him for his information, he arrested me. So go and watch the arrest video if you're not familiar with it. Yeah. So we moved on to the civil litigation aspect of it. Today I should be getting called to pick up my transcripts from the court hearing. My civil attorney is going to go over that. And yeah, we're going to move full force. I'm not going to tell you what we're asking for, but we're not going to settle for anything. 20 months of bullshit and suffering and seeing a therapist and everything else for this, installing cameras in my business because now I don't know what these people could do, installing a dash cam in my car because I don't know what these people are capable of, going to work with a GoPro strapped to my chest because I fear the police. Like, there's no way that in America this is how a free citizen should feel. So yeah, they're going to have to pay for that. They're going to have to pay for that. They are arresting me in front of my 10-year-old son. They're going to have to pay for that. They're going to have to pay for all that. Like, no deals. No deals, buddy. I'm still not taking deals. So don't come to me with no bullshit. So, yeah, we're going to right a wrong. So, Bogota PD messed up. Officer Lewis Duenas. If you look up Brasher versus New Jersey State Park Police, Officer Lewis Duenas is also involved in another civil litigation lawsuit. It's a civil rights violation, Brasher versus New Jersey State Police, where Lewis Duenas is named one of the defendants. He's a realtor now, so I'm hoping his real estate business is going good because he has no business wearing a badge and having any type of authority. He's not fit to be a police officer. I mean, he's only worked in 2 departments and he has 2 civil rights violations, lawsuits pending. The one in Jersey City State Park Police was from 2019, mine is in 2020. So he just violates people's rights on a daily. So yeah, Officer Lewis, Lewis Duenas. Google Lewis Duenas Bogota and my YouTube page will come up. Just because when his kids get old enough and they Google him, I want them to understand that he's not a hero. And he's actually a tyrant and a horrible person and a shitty police officer. And he has no right to wear a badge, ever. So anyway, people, that's the update. Stay tuned. 20 months later, it did take because they postponed it for so long, trying to get me to crack, but I'm unbreakable. I know they hate that. But yeah, that's where we're at. So everyone, thank you for subscribing. Please like, share my page so that other people can see it. I'm about to start reaching out to news media outlets just because now that I have the official not guilty, I am going to contact a reporter today who covers this area and see what we could do. Let's get this to really go out there, go viral. We have dash cam video, we have audio, and now I have a not guilty. So it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to be moved from defendant to plaintiff while the officers go from plaintiff to defendant. New Jersey, Bogota, New Jersey PD. Google that. Google Bogota, New Jersey Police Department and go to Street View so you can check out their Blue Lives Matter flag saying fuck the community. It's all about us. And the group that painted that is called Brothers Before Others. And you know the brothers that they're talking about. Yeah, so you know how that blue line works, people. Thin blue line. Thin blue line only covers pussies and assholes. People, on that note, I'm out. Stay tuned.